Okay, we should record. We're starting to be funny. How are you, Andrew?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good. Last night, Delaney and I went out with another couple who are having a baby next month. They're due like one
Mm.
month from yesterday. And that's so exciting because they're our age, and it's kind of the first of my friends to have a baby. Delaney has
Do I
friends who
know
are
these
who are much
people?
older. You do. Well, you knew at least
Do I
half of
know?
them. So
Bring Mrs. Filholm the babies. No one's listening to me, but an awful lot of my former students are having babies. I haven't held a baby in 7 months, Andrew.
that's funny that you know exactly how how long it's been.
Well, there's been a pandemic on. They got this pandemic going on, and so I know exactly how long it's been since I've touched strangers. You know what I mean? And
Ugh.
since you don't.
I hate how you say that.
Both. Yeah, that's true. That's icky. Well, you've always accused me of being creepy with the toddlers, so I guess that's on brand for me then, isn't it? You can't touch toddlers like you can't pet other people's toddlers
You
like their
could say
dog.
it's been 7 months since I've been in close proximity with strangers,
Okay.
but the word touch is just a nasty word. Ugh.
Okay. Oh God, you're so funny. May I disagree that the word touch is a nasty word, Andrew? Whatever. Come on. It's one of the love languages. It's you have a 0 on the touch scale. I know that.
Probably.
You wish that we were all cars and didn't have to touch.
That's
God, it
right.
must be nice to be married to you. That just sounds lovely. Gee. So yeah, I'm talking about holding a baby. I mean, even the baby across the street, little Mikey, they moved away, by the way. It makes me sad, but I don't blame them. I can look at him and like see him in the yard and stuff. I'm not gonna go hold that baby. I'm not gonna touch somebody else's kid during the pandemic. So I haven't held a baby. They're out. Okay, they're 1 month out. Are they feeling good about it?
I think so. They both seem really good. She's a nurse practitioner, a pediatric nurse practitioner, so she knows all the medical stuff, and I think she's much better prepared to deal with a pregnancy than most women are.
Oh, sure,
And
sure, sure.
and I think that I don't know. I assume that part of the anxiety of having a baby, you can expect all the life changes and stuff, but just the all the stuff you don't know and have to come up to speed with very quick. I feel like they've got a head start on that. So I don't know. It kind of makes me wish I was a nurse practitioner.
Oh, that's nice, Andrew. Do you know what you would? That's cute. That's a good. You're right. But do you know what you'd have to do if you were a nurse practitioner?
I'd have to hang out with sick people. Ugh,
Touch strangers. You'd have to touch strangers.
I would
So you're
not. I would
describing a
conduct all
woman
my visits remotely.
remotely. This is a woman you're describing who's like comfortable with the human body because of her occupation, and that probably does give you a
Hmm.
leg up when your body is going through some stuff.
Can
But
you
you would really
imagine?
suck at it. No,
Can you imagine a remote
nope.
doctor saying, "Okay, now go out to your garage, bring back a hammer, and then tap that little area just underneath your kneecap"? Are you doing it? Are you doing it?
Mm-mm.
Did you kick?
I can't imagine it. Oh, okay. Well, let's tell. Okay, we've been away for a while. We recorded last week, but we did not follow our new guidelines about just recording and then what's in the show is in the show, right? We
Nope.
felt that we needed to do some editing because we talked too long because we hadn't spoken for so long, I think is what happened.
hmm
And so we sort of burned that episode. So hey, is this our first time back since your wedding for the readers?
It could be. I don't
It
think
might
so. I think I
be.
have
Maybe it's the
published one since.
second.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, yeah, yeah. We did. Okay. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Anyway, so that's what happened. We actually I felt like we just needed to catch up and it was more us being idiots, more idiotic than usual, and maybe not for public consumption. Sometimes that
Yeah.
happens, Andrew.
And I truthfully,
Hmm.
we there probably was some content that we could publish in there, but I haven't.
Sure.
I've just been feeling really, um, a lot of things are vying for my attention right now. I've got
Mhm.
two clients that are active. I'm building a duplex with my grandfather. The duplex was actually demolished yesterday, which was
Oh
exciting.
wow. Wow. Did you get to watch?
I did. I got to watch the whole thing, and I got some video of it. And it's not.
You know I love that.
You'd think that the video is really exciting, but it's like knock down a wall, spray the whole thing down with water. 3 minutes later, knock down another wall. I mean, it really only took about 15 minutes to knock down, but in that 15 minutes, there's like a minute and a half of action spread throughout the 15. So it's not as compelling a video as I had hoped it would be. When I was directing the
Oh,
scene of my life, it didn't
uh-huh.
come out as I had hoped.
Okay, well, sure. Yeah. Well, Andrew, that's why editing. I mean, really. That's why you do it and you speed it up. And come on, if you're directing the movie of your life, you're gonna have to think creatively, Andrew. Things don't just play out, picture perfect. Come on.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
I
So
know
I've got that
exactly the
going on.
time it takes to knock down a building. I watched it so many times
It's pretty
with my wife.
amazing.
I
And
love it. Do you know what the part I love I have a favorite part of demolition. It's the when the wall comes down and all the wires like are hanging out of the wall.
oh yeah, yesterday that moment for me was he put his bucket through the roof, and then the gutter was kind of dangling from the bucket as if it was like a piece of toilet paper. It's
Yeah,
like a, I don't know,
I love
25
that.
yard
That's
gutter,
exactly. Yeah, yeah,
and
yeah.
it's just
That
hanging,
dangly
it's
stuff.
crumpled, and
Exactly.
it's
Yep.
kind of blowing.
I was gonna say yes. I was gonna say that like when wires do or things like that, like really heavy, solid things when they dangle and become yeah, they look like lace floating in the wind or something.
They
Oh, I
look like
love that.
lace or Christmas ornaments, or
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
yeah, I agree. But the
Yep.
the thing
That's our
about
favorite
this,
part of demolition. Then we can agree.
for sure, the
I
thing
agree.
about this experience that tickled me the most is that the guy who owns this demolition company, so they placed a giant excavator on the property, like, I don't know, last week because they thought the permit was going to come through sooner than it did.
Oh, sure.
And anyways, so it's the day of, our permit came through 2 days ago. The morning of the demolition, he shows up. He basically knocks down the building and then goes to the next site to knock down the next one. This is the owner of the company. He just likes to play with the big machines. He likes to knock down the building and then leave all the other people to clean up the mess. And that is such a cool job.
That is the coolest job.
I like a hands-on owner, someone who really loves what he does.
But then leaves the plebes to pick up the messes. I love it.
Yeah.
It's squad goals, really. Let me come in, make the messes, and then someone else pick a God. It's
Well,
all I've ever wanted.
it made me think that maybe I need to buy an excavator and go into the demolition business, and it's totally affordable.
Okay. Well, is it?
I mean, I don't know what maintenance is on one of these things, but you can get into the game for less than $100,000, and you can get a loan for that, I imagine. You might as well.
Did you look that up? Is that
I
how
sh-
you know?
I googled it. Yeah.
I met a guy who has a moving business,
Mm-hmm.
and he also like kind of along those lines bought a tow truck that he runs, on the side, and it paid for itself pretty quickly. He said and I think it's a tow truck with one of those shovels on the front so he can remove snow.
Oh
It's
yeah.
just seems smart, right?
There's a guy I follow on Twitter, and he's a real asshole. He's always got the wrong hot take when it comes to
Mm,
like political
mm,
issues.
mm.
But the reason I follow him is because he's kind of anti tech startup, anti whatever. His handle is called Sweaty Startup, and he believes that the best way to make your fortune is with some kind of local business, whether it's snow removal or whether
I
it's
see.
owning storage facilities or something like that. And he really is kind of interesting, but he reminds me a little bit of Elon Musk, in that he's just not kind of aware of, he can't read the room, you know. He just
Uh-huh. Yeah,
says
yeah,
what
yeah,
he
yeah.
thinks.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
So those kinds of businesses, whether it's demolition or whether it's towing or whatever, I feel like there's a tremendous opportunity to be made. A tremendous amount of money to be made there. And it's there's something romantic. There's a meme, and it's this farmer standing by a fence. He says it's not much, but it's honest work. And sometimes I feel like I miss that in my job when I'm making websites for big companies. It's hard to see the good I'm putting into the world. It just feels kind of like I'm spinning my wheels in this business machine and not really leaving anyone better off in their life, you
Sure.
know?
Sure. Yeah.
So I think about other things like that, and that seems, I'm jealous of the ability to look at your job and say, I accomplished this today, or I helped these three people today,
Oh,
or
yeah. And also, here's the other thing I envy is like, well, you probably have this, but like, I have a task, I can finish it, I can check it off my list and know that is finished. My task is finished. I can look,
sure,
I can see the fruits of my labor. When I was working my job at the university, I used to look out the window and like at the guys digging ditches, doing landscaping, going up in bucket trucks. Same thing, just because the same thing. I was so in the office doing, yeah, wondering what I was giving to the world. And then there's these guys, like, you can see what you've just, they're demolishing buildings, for example. I watched that out my office window one time,
right,
Yeah. I mean, I remember when I was teaching. Now, I never would say that I'm not giving to the world, but it just in terms of like the overwhelm and the complication of it and the messiness of dealing with human beings. I remember going into Gyrie's and seeing them shaking paint, like those guys
Uh-huh.
who have the paint shaker, and going, "Oh
Gosh,
God, I
that's a cool
envy their
machine.
jobs." Oh my, I wanted their jobs. Their jobs seem really great. Maybe I should go apply at Gyrie's today. So, Andrew, I'm in the phase right now this week of applying to jobs like that because I'm not getting the big girl job. I mean, I've got applications out there. I've been like top 2 or 3 finalisted for several jobs that seem really great and not gotten them.
Mm-hmm.
Freaking demoralizing, may I say.
I believe it. I believe
But
I can't
also, go ahead.
I can't tell, and I was just having this conversation with the lady who cuts my hair. I can't tell whether things are bad out in the world because, the stock market's going up. Everything
Mm,
seems to be fine. Everybody's telling us it's okay. But then I look at things like, people laying off workers and um the hard time you're having finding a job, and it seems like everything is really bad out there, but none of the kind of indicators reflect it. Like the Denver housing market is hotter than it's ever been.
I know it.
Everything, prices are going up, 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 and it just seems like uh, the story I see in the news is not reflecting the reality that people are living.
Well, I know there's a lot of unemployment. We can't deny that number,
Yeah,
right? And I'm one of them. Technically, I'm not unemployed because I didn't have a real job, but I mean, I'm applying for work. I think that's part of it. Yeah, I know. I know what you're saying. I think it may be that it's a bifurcated world. It's the K style of recovery, and some people are being barely affected, and
mm-hmm.
in many cases their lives are better, and I'm on the other end. I think maybe I don't know, but anyway, so I've been applying for jobs like that, not quite getting them, but getting close, which also involves a lot of time and effort and mental anguish. But also is, I suppose, encouraging that the hopeful people in my life say that like you're getting close, your resume works, you're getting close to jobs that are right for you. These are not, whatever. But it's not funny. And so to this week I am applying to, Costco and Lowe's and seasonal work. I need some cash flow. I need some order to my day
Sure.
besides just doing comedy shows, although that's going well and is making me some money, which I never, ever, ever in a million years would have expected. It's making me some pretty good money right now, but not, it's not enough. It's not enough. It's just not enough. Um, but it's been fun. I have a little groggy voice today because I hosted an open mic for 4 hours last night. What?
That is a long open mic, Mrs. Filholm.
They always were, Andrew. Uh, Baby Jeff took over for me for 4 or 5 of the comics so I could take a break. But,
That's
phew.
funny. That's funny.
Yeah, and
Where was this one?
it's at a bar on East Colfax called Blush and Blue, and they've hired me to be the host, and it's great. I mean, it's great to see everybody, and we run. It's like in the mic is just run more. I don't know. Seems better than in the past, but it's very funny. Some of the comics will get up and bitch about it, like here we are in East Colfax, or this room is whatever. They'll make fun of the room. Yeah, there's that kind of attitude of like that joke is funnier than you guys are giving me credit for. Or that joke would be funny if you guys weren't stupid, which is not my style of comedy. I never like it when people say that about the room. But I always get up there and go, you guys would have, sold your soul. Any of us would have sold our souls for an open mic of any kind in April. We were all saying, I will never complain about an open mic again. If I ever again get the opportunity to perform for anybody, I don't care if it's any civilians are there, if it's 8 comics at Lions Lair at 1 in the morning, I'm like, God, I would give anything to be back there. We miss that so much. And so I always would like to remind them when they're complaining about the room
Well, there's
or
also
comedy.
you can complain about the room as much as you want, but if you're not making people laugh, you're not making people laugh.
Oh, 1,000%. That's exactly right. Exactly. It's right.
It's
It's
time
hack, and
time to look at the
mostly
man in the
people
mirror.
know that's correct. Mostly, I think comics know that, and they're teasing when they go, "That's funnier than I thought," and I assume they go home and rewrite the joke like we all do. Like
Mm-hmm.
why didn't that work? But there are times when comics say that kind of thing, like, "All right, I thought that was funnier. Okay, you guys don't like dog jokes or whatever," and I go, "You wrote that joke badly. It's not. We got lost in the middle. I forgot what you were talking about, so of course the punchline didn't work." So
Can you hear my
yeah, yeah,
stomach
yeah.
right now?
No, I did not hear that, but I had a lot of that last week, the episode that Sean never
It must be
released.
going around.
Yeah. Well, is yours because you're hungry or because you're digesting?
It's because I'm hungry, I think.
I
My day got a weird start today because normally I'm out of bed and at my desk around 6:45. And today I slept in and was awakened by the sound of the fire alarm in my apartment building.
Oh,
So I
weird. The
put
whole
on my
building.
yeah, well, I don't actually know how our alarm system works.
Hmm.
It seems like it's separated into segments, and sometimes the whole building goes off and sometimes just a
Sure.
section goes off, and I don't know what today was. But I put on my sweats and my hoodie, and I walked down the stairs, and I got halfway out the building before I said, "Oh fuck, I forgot my mask." So then,
Mm,
in an effort to not stand in a crowd of people without my mask like a pariah, like a
mm-hmm,
leper,
mm-hmm,
I
mm-hmm.
decided to go on a little walk this morning.
Oh, good.
Uh, it was good.
Oh, geez, I gotta go on my walk after this. I rolled out of bed. Where was your wife during all of this excitement?
This is at 7:30. She's already at work.
Wow, that's early.
Yeah,
And was
she works early and because she leaves early to go to dance class.
That's right. That's nice. And was there an actual emergency?
The email says there was. It says in one of our retail
Oh.
spaces. So I don't know. There's a breakfast restaurant in our
Mm-hmm.
building, and I don't know if maybe they lit something on fire in the kitchen
Oh, funny.
or what else. But most of those places are empty at the only one that should have people at 7:30 in the morning would be that breakfast restaurant.
Sure, 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 sure. Okay, but as far as you know, everybody's safe and your building is still standing.
Yeah, it's still
And you
standing,
gotta walk.
and I
You
gotta
gotta
walk.
walk
That's right.
really
I got
early.
a
That's
question for you
awesome.
though.
Please shoot.
So we have a cat, which is well known.
I
His name is
know.
Whiskers. And when the fire alarm goes off, I always feel just a little bit bad as I walk down the stairs to safety and leave him to
I
become a
should think
roast
so.
cat. What
Yeah.
am I supposed to do in that situation? Because
Put him in the carrier
I
and get
can't
him
really
out
get
of
him in the
there.
carrier because
Well,
that's like a multi-hour ordeal to coerce him into the
okay, that's
carrier.
right. I forgot about that. Well, can you carry him in your arms
I might be able to, but then,
and
who knows? I
hold
might be
him?
out there for 3 hours.
Yeah.
I wish, what I really want from you, Mrs. Filholm, is absolution. I want you to say there's
Okay.
nothing you can do. That cat's going to die
All
and
right.
it's not your
Okay.
fault.
What I was gonna say is if I were your wife,
Mm-hmm.
which you have one now, isn't that funny? Um, I know that she loves that cat. I do not understand why. I mean, I really don't understand. I have puzzled this, you understand, in my mind.
It's a good thing I got headphones in because he is sitting
Our
in my lap.
he is. Okay. Okay, you got head. He's in your lap. God
Mm-hmm.
dang it. You love that cat. All right. Evidently you both love that cat. She loves him more than you do. I would just think that she would be hurt feelings if you didn't rescue the cat.
I know.
I
I don't want
also
that to
think
ruin our
Whiskers.
marriage.
What's that?
I said, I don't want that to ruin our
No, I
marriage.
know. That's the kind of stuff that really is relationship killing. On the other hand, Whiskers, if you don't have the good sense to get into the, carrier when an alarm is going off and lives are threatened and life itself is at stake, I mean, Darwin Awards, if you're
Right? That's
stupid, you're
just
gonna
natural
die.
selection.
Yeah. Except that, see, now you just said you're holding him on your lap. So you could cuddle that cat, and I suppose a true animal lover who loves his wife would cuddle the cat and take him outside. What would that be like standing around for half an hour with Whiskers in your
I
arms?
don't know. So
I know. He's
Delaney
a weirdo.
is convinced, and there's evidence to support this, that he doesn't travel well and he can't
Yeah.
exist. He's kind of like a witch with water. He cannot
Mhm.
step foot outside this apartment or be outside this apartment without turning into a pumpkin or something. I don't know what's going to happen.
Well,
Uh,
that's what I wonder. Does he would he get mean? Would he run away? Would he scratch you? Would
I
he?
don't know. I don't know.
Yeah.
We
But it
tried.
is true that we've seen he never goes anywhere.
He never goes anywhere.
He
He's
hasn't
just a
been out of that
layabout.
apartment in what, 2 years, 3 years?
He
Oh,
went
if that.
out. He went out to go to my parents' house when we went on a trip once.
Oh.
Yeah,
How
but
did he do at your parents' house?
not good. He
Was that during your honeymoon?
no, that was
What'd you do with him during the honeymoon?
I don't remember where. Maybe we went to Tennessee to see Delaney's dad. For our honeymoon, we left him at home, and my brother came over to watch
Oh,
him.
that's nice. Wait, so how did he do at your parents' house? I'm sorry.
Poorly, poorly. He
What?
hid the whole time, and
Oh,
he would
no.
just curl up in the corner of a cabinet underneath the sink and shiver. And he
I
did that for like a
mean,
week.
yeah, okay. I guess the shivering would make me feel bad. Otherwise, I'm like, that sounds like the perfect pet. He did what? He went and hid in a dark corner and curled up
Seen
and
and
didn't
not
bother
heard.
anybody? Hell yeah. Yes, seen and
Except in
not
his
heard.
case, it's not seen and not heard.
Exactly. And he's also suffering.
Hmm.
Okay, well, Andrew, you are absolved of any guilt. If really Whiskers doesn't have the good sense to, be chill, he's gonna die in the fire.
That's
Mm,
right. That's right. One thing
And also there was no fire.
would like to mention is that at a certain time, and they may still exist, IKEA actually had a section full of cat harnesses. They're called Lervigs. That's the official IKEA Scandinavian Swedish name. It's called a Lervig.
Okay.
And we bought Whiskers a Lervig, but it didn't quite fit him. But I still kind of toy with the idea of taking Whiskers out on my walks with me. So maybe if I can
Listen, I
get the
don't know
right
why
size
you
Lervig,
wouldn't.
we can
He
test this
already
out.
has those jackets and his whole wardrobe of weird
Medical
harnessy
garments.
clothing, medical garments. A
His
harness is
prescription
what a harness
garments.
is, right. Prescription clothing. His sartorial choices are confusing to me, but I don't know why a harness doesn't fit right into all of that, and I don't know why you wouldn't walk him. I actually had a cat that went out on a leash.
I
The one
think that
cat
would
that
be
I've
so
owned.
much fun. I don't really want to be seen with the cat on the leash, but I would like to be able to
Yeah.
take him. Maybe I put on my sunglasses and my mask and I'm totally anonymous.
I met a dog that I like.
You did.
I did, believe it or not. I have met a dog that I like. Dog that belongs to someone I know, and I was really like, okay, I like this dog. Like, it's a chill dog. We're getting along. It's a cool dog. And then the other night, the dog bit me. So
Well,
I
that
don't think the dog
motherfucker.
feels the same way about me, Andrew.
That doesn't that just piss you off?
Yeah, I mean, I feel that I was really in the dog's space. Do you know what I mean? I was kind of
Oh,
on the
you were
dog's
getting up in
spot in the
there?
couch. Maybe the dog was a little bit like, "Ooh, I don't know, I'm not sure." And okay, it's a husky dog, so it has this fur that is actually fun to like put your fingers into.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, disgusting. Fur
Can you
flies
get your
everywhere.
hand out?
Exactly. I'd like to be able to get my Seinfeld requisite Seinfeld pull. Audience, if you don't know that pull, you need to go look it up. I'm not going to tell you. Good job, Andrew. Yes, you can get your hands out when you run your fingers through the dog's hair.
He can lift
Um,
100 pounds right over his
right
head.
over his eyebrows. Women pluck the hair out of their heads and draw on eyebrows. Okay, who cares about eyebrows? Um, Oh, yeah. So anyway, I was rubbing the dog on his little scruff of his neck, and we have all noticed that this dog kind of when you do that, and we've all been saying we're not sure if that's a purr or a growl. Well, for in my case it was a growl because he was doing that, and then he just went chomp on my hand. I mean, it was more of that like warning bite. It didn't break the skin, but it did hurt because teeth and dog jaws hurt.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but it was more of a warning, and then well, whatever. Then the dog and I had to spend a lot of time making amends. But anyway, I was just saying, he doesn't understand that it's a big deal for me to go, oh, I kind of like this dog. This is a nice dog. Like I'm digging this dog. And then that dog bit me.
Don't
So
we do
killing
that
it.
all the time where we make
Mm.
someone the unwitting ambassador for all of their kind,
Yes, we sure
right?
do.
So this
Yes.
dog doesn't realize that his actions are
Right.
he's been tasked with
Okay.
ingratiating dog kind to you, and he
Okay.
just
That's
totally
fair.
fucked it.
Okay, but you're right though. You can't do that. You cannot ask an individual to represent the group or class or category. You're right. Okay, so I have got. Thank you, Andrew, for you're very woke. That's so woke. Dog
I
lives
actually
matter. Dog lives matter, and I need to be a little bit more tolerant, I guess, in my views. Yeah, you're right. Don't expect that dog to carry the burden.
That's right.
Fucker, little fucker dog, fucking bit me.
There's a recommendation I'd like to make. There's
Okay.
a YouTube channel. This is along the same lines. It's called Not Just Bikes, and it's a Canadian guy who moved to Amsterdam, and I think he's a city planner by trade. And he talks about all the reasons why Amsterdam is so much better than everywhere else in the world, city
Mm.
planning wise.
Hmm.
But he talks about that becoming an unwitting ambassador for cyclists because
Uh-huh.
he's just trying to get to work, and everyone says, "Well, as a cyclist, you're part of the problem," or and they cast him into this group, and he's like, "F you, I'm not a cyclist. I'm just trying to get to work, and this way I can do it much faster and less expensive than any other way." But it gave me something to think about, and he's got a lot of really good um, thought-provoking kind of city planning stuff on YouTube under the channel Not Just Bikes.
Oh, interesting. That's a cool recommendation. Hey, everybody in the whole world, let's talk recommendations, okay? Because we're gonna wrap it up soon, right? We're doing short episodes.
Yeah.
Recommendations. People have been telling me for 2 years, Schitt's Creek. You know, they won all the awards, like comically won all the awards.
Mm-hmm.
Great, love it. Been watching it?
No, I haven't, but
You?
I've been hearing from people as well, and I never got into it. I think I've watched an episode, and I was like, I don't know if this is for me.
Yeah, you know how I watch things. I wasn't really watching. I was like, it was on in the background, and then I found myself watching it, like watching it.
Mm-hmm. I'll have to check it
Um,
out. I've
I love that whole cast. I mean, I love those guys. And oh my God, Eugene Levy's son is hilarious. He's so funny. It's pretty funny. I don't know. I can't vet it in terms of like a sitting down on the couch and watching anything because I don't, but I think people love it. And of course they do. Anyway, it's great. I like it a lot. And then let's see. I feel like there was a podcast. Oh yeah, we talked about it last week, but that was burned. Okay. I realize how much I love things that are, this is interesting to me. How much I love, you had a recommendation on this too. Things that are ranking or I love critique. I love criticism. Like I've
mm-hmm.
told you on here, I don't know if I've told you on here or not, but the podcast that I love, and I'm so sorry I've listened to all the episodes. I'm like, put out a new season, Citizen Critic, where they review a movie review, and then they review things related to that movie. You know, like for the Tiger King, like, they ranked a dumb review of it, and then they reviewed the like Yelp reviews of Joe, what's Exotic's actual tiger farm or whatever, stuff like that. Oh my God, so funny. I love it so much. And that's called Citizen Critic. I don't know, maybe I talked about that one before. I think anyway, I've been liking that. I realize I just love. Oh, and the Anthropocene Review. That's the other one. I think I've talked about Citizen Critic in the past. It's funny, like makes me laugh out loud. The Anthropocene Review is a he goes and ranks reviews 5 stars,
Mm-hmm.
review style to things in the culture. The Anthropocene reviewed the current geological age is what that means. And it is by John Green, the author of The Fault in Our Stars, which I don't know anything about that. And my card on The Fault in Our Stars is like very sappy and I don't know. But this guy is
Cancer.
a good, yeah, this guy, he's a good writer and he goes and he reviews things like it's so funny to me. Let me see. Okay, one of the episodes is Monopoly and Academic Decathlon. He reviews 2 things per episode usually. And I really, really like it. And it's got a nice, okay, one of them is hot dog eating contests and chemotherapy. And he goes in and gives like kind of a historical and cultural lesson or whatever about the thing he's reviewing, and then it takes it. It's just really well written. He takes it from an interesting perspective each time, and then I mean that's the shtick of the podcast is then he'll say, I give chemotherapy 5 out of 5 stars or whatever. I give the pandemic 1 out of 5 stars. It's really good and it's not hilarious at all, but I really have been quite liking it. So that's my recommend. What you got?
I don't have anything else that I feel. Oh, I guess I do have one. I used some of our wedding funds to acquire a just crazy expensive version of a soda stream. It's called an ARK, AARKE, and
Really?
it's a $200 fizzy water maker, and
Oh,
I've really been enjoying having unlimited fizzy water on
tap.
available to me. Yeah.
Do you flavor it or you just drink the bubbly water?
I don't flavor it. I just drink the
Okay.
bubbly water, and it's good. I'm
Wow.
drinking like where normally I'd have like a can of fizzy water, maybe 2 cans of fizzy water a day. I'm
Uh,
drinking like 3 or 4 liters of fizzy water a day, and it's awesome. I'm really
okay.
working on
I
my
was
burp
started out
technique.
thinking this was I started out thinking this was the dumbest purchase, but now I'm super jealous that you have a trickling stream of fizzy water. That's very
Yeah,
nice.
yeah. I can't recommend. Not that it's bad, but I don't specifically recommend the Arc. I just recommend like a Soda Stream in general. Get the cheapest one you can because I think they're all pretty much the same.
Really?
The only difference about mine is it's all stainless steel and it looks nice on the counter.
Well, that's nice. That's really good. I mean, that's great. Okay, well, there's your recommendation. Fizzy water. That sounds good.
It does sound good, and I haven't quite, and I'm not going to do it because I'm not a maniac, but theoretically you could fizz up any kind of liquid, right? I mean, I could be cleaning with fizzy
Oh,
bleach. How good would that be?
what?
Right?
Could you please do that for me? I don't think you should put bleach. Well, maybe you should to clean it. I'm very curious about what fizzy bleach might be like. Well,
That
because
seems
right,
like
there's
the
those
next
scrubbing
big kind
bubbles.
of as seen on TV thing. Your
Well,
bleach
there's
is
that
fine, but does
you
it fizz?
does it fit? Well, there's scrubbing bubbles as a product where that was kind of the thing is that the scrubbing bubbles. Do you know what I'm talking about?
I didn't know
It's a
that
cleaning
was.
product.
That's never been in my house. My mom was not a scrubbing bubbles user, as far as I know, and I don't have any scrubbing bubbles today. But it fizzes, it
Mine
lathers, it.
neither. I didn't. Same thing, but well, in the cartoon, in the old ads when I was a child, there were little bubbles that had faces and maybe even helmets, and the fact that they moved around. I think it does fizz. I think that's the idea is that it like
Hmm.
fizzes or bubbles or somehow the bubbles move around, which I would assume is fizz. Huh, that's interesting. I wish I could come over and we could do that as an experiment.
Just as a
Or what about
precaution to our
bubbly
dear
coffee? I
listeners.
mean, you. What about bubbly coffee?
I mean,
Sounds horrible, but
you
maybe
could
it's
do it.
good.
You could do
You
it.
could try
I
it.
think in the book it says not to do anything other than water, but you totally could.
Oh, please.
Right.
Please. Those are just amateurs.
That's just legalese cover your ass sort of
Cover your ass.
shenanigans.
Right. Because fizzy coffee, you never know what might happen.
It does specifically say it's like, only water, and then there is like a separate section that says in larger text, do not fizz wine.
Oh,
So I kind of wonder what happens there. I wonder if there's some kind of chemical thing that happens, or if I wonder, I don't know, maybe it gets you double drunk. Who knows?
I know that specifically, and it specifically calls it out there, wine. So then that means that many people have done it and caused problems because the only reason we have rules in rule books
Right.
is when somebody has tried the thing. That sounds about right, doesn't it? People trying to make fizzy wine. Sounds good. Sounds delightful. I don't know why you wouldn't. All right. Well, Andrew, I don't recommend doing it. I do recommend biting off more than you can chew. Do you catch that?
What's that?
Yeah.
Tell me about
I
it.
think it's Alanis Morissette. I don't know. It came to
Huh.
my mind.
All
Okay,
right.
that's the end of our episode. Everything that's in the show is in the show.
Sounds good, Mrs. Filholm. I'll talk to you
Bye,
next week,
Andrew. All
hopefully.
right. Bye.
Bye.